Hey everyone, it's Rashni aka Glamazini, and today is Tuesday, July 4th, and this is my weekly update. This is going to be the only clip. It is Tuesday, it is Independence Day, and I have not filmed any clips for the weekly update. I contemplated not putting up a video at all since technically I'm only filming these updates for my patrons right now, but because I made a vow to myself and subsequently a vow to my patrons to practice doing weekly updates every week, I felt like I owed it to myself to jump on camera and at least film this. So the reason why I'm not doing a weekly update this week is something that has kind of prohibited me over my entire YouTube career, my whole online career, from being great, basically. And it is depression and anxiety. Now, if you followed me for any time, which I know a lot of my patrons have followed me for many, many years, you'll remember that many years ago I did a depression series on my YouTube channel and then on my blog, kind of just talking through what is depression, my experience with depression, my experience with medication, what it's like to go to therapy, blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. I'll put links to it up above and down below for anyone who may watch this in the future and may want to get all that information. You know that in the past I revealed that I was diagnosed with depression many, many years ago. It's been over 20 years since I was diagnosed with depression. And over the years I've shared my story explaining what I have done to be a person living life with, living life above, managing depression. I have never come on and said that my depression was gone, although I know that oftentimes it may seem that way because it's not really the topic that I'm talking about. But let's just put it this way. When you're dealing with depression, and in recent years I have developed anxiety, self-diagnosed. I've never been diagnosed with anxiety, but I'm pretty certain that the situations that I've been in my life, one of which I'm not going to talk about on camera, but the next one is clearly having a child with special needs when you're a person with depression, has now created anxiety in me. I have all of these symptoms of anxiety, physical symptoms, etc., etc. And so that is why there's only one clip this week. But you know what? I told myself this morning, this may be a powerful clip to film. In the past, and when I say in the past, I mean previous year, like years and years ago on YouTube, it just was very difficult for me to film. I would still get on camera. I wouldn't talk about why my energy seemed so low, why I kind of seemed so dampened. But I feel like if you're an empathic person like me, you'd be able to feel the difference. Like when you get on camera, and you'd be able to tell, you know, sometimes you get on camera with me or you see me on camera and I really feel like I'm upbeat and myself, and other times I kind of seem kind of lower affect. My affect is lower, like how it is right now. It's been a rough week, you guys. It's been a rough month, honestly. June was not the best month for me. And now at the beginning of July, it's been a long holiday weekend, and I think in a strange way, because I haven't had anything to do this weekend, like taking my son to different appointments and all the kind of things that keep me busy, just kind of been here really mulling over just a lot of things that suck, basically, which is not how I want to be living my life, but unfortunately it's part of what happens, right? So I jumped on camera because I said I was going to jump on camera. I jumped on camera because part of updating you about my week is to tell you that this week sucked and that I didn't film a bunch of different clips. I was gonna sit down. There were good things that happened this week, don't get me wrong or anything like that. One of the good things that happened this week is Jay-Z dropped his album 444. Yeah, I totally went there. 444. And so for the first time ever, I actually watched Beyonce's Lemonade visual album from beginning to end. I've never watched it before. I watched Beyonce's Lemonade from beginning to end, and then I listened to 444 right after that, so I could kind of get the whole story out of both of their mouths. And so that was a totally great thing because it really was expressive in a way that I did not expect from either of them. And I, as a 41-year-old, totally enjoyed grown folks music. So that was a wonderful thing that happened this week. I thought about jumping on and doing a clip about that early this weekend, but I just did not. So, oh, another thing before I run away filming this is that dichotomy, like you just said, of depression and anxiety and how you feel like you flip back and forth. So one minute you feel okay, the next minute you feel like the world is ending and blah, 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 back and forth. And so I always felt, and so I felt in the past like it would come off weird on camera. Does that make sense? Because I can be boo-hooing 1 minute and then laughing the next minute, because that's kind of how depression and anxiety work. So anyway, I want to spend a whole bunch of time on camera talking about this. Like I said, I will put links to my older videos up above and down below. And if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to drop them down below, and I can expound as much as possible. Like, it's 4th of July, and yeah, I'm just not feeling 100% like myself. So if you're a praying person, please, whenever I cross your mind, please send prayers my way, because it's hard. It is hard to have a son with special needs. I'm not gonna start crying. I might start crying. I'm not. It's hard to have a son with special needs when you are already struggling with depression and other situational things that I've never shared with you guys. So when you already have bad things happening in your situation, and you already have kind of like a deficit in how you're able to cope because you have a mood disorder, and then on top of that you have all this other stuff happen with your son, sometimes it just does not work out to be, you know, hey everyone, and all that kind of stuff when I'm filming. So anywho, hope you guys had a great 4th of July by the time you see this. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I accept all prayers. Thank you so much, and until the next video, be well, you guys. Be encouraged. Bye, y'all.